The quote I chose for my book talk is, "As Elsie showered, she realized she had learned something. She was attracted to the kind of man Denver was. He drove fast and was dangerous and handsome, but she reflected he was also, in his own way, needy. If he wasn't showing off to a pretty girl, it was Elsie's guess he was fairly miserable. Elsie was happy she didn't have to put up with such a man all the way to Florida. Homer, despite all his many flaws, mostly she had to concede, having to do with his good character, well, he would do just fine for that chore." I think that this quote really conveys the main problem in the entire book, which is Elsie is a woman who's just looking for fun, while Homer is a coal miner and he's married to Elsie and they live in West Virginia, so there's not much fun to do over there. The book I chose for my book talk is called Carrying Albert Home, written by Homer Hickman, and it's a fiction slash nonfiction novel because it has very unrealistic and overdramatic parts to it, but I think that these scenes and these parts, they tie in to make a central theme or a central life lesson, which is something you'd find in a nonfiction book. And I chose the book because I didn't bring my reading book to class one day. Sorry, Mrs. Vasquez, but I chose something off your shelf and it caught my attention because of the cover. And I kept on reading it because it had very good character development, and I think that anyone who reads a book like this will really enjoy the characters, and you meet a lot of them along the way. Homer and Elsie's journey began after the Great Depression, but they'd known each other much longer than that because they were classmates in high school. Elsie and Homer had sort of a thing for each other, but it never really sparked into life, so Elsie ended up chasing after a guy who shattered her dreams of being with someone who was handsome and a daredevil and someone who had a lot of fun. Eventually, Elsie found her way back with Homer, and this was when Homer found out that she owned an alligator. After Homer found out that Elsie owned an alligator, he wasn't very happy and he gave her an ultimatum, which was either dropping him or dropping the alligator. Elsie chose dropping the alligator, but she would only do it on the condition that they dropped him off at Florida in his natural habitat. Overall, I think the book was a great read because originally Homer and Elsie were supposed to go from point A to point B, but it wasn't that straightforward. And I think along the way they learned very important life lessons, which were to cherish little things in life, and it was to expect the unexpected, and eventually someone would end up loving something that they never thought they would love.